Hello and welcome to our second video in the GST series. We got very good response for our first video. Thank you very much. This series is possible because of our research partner Mr. Prabhakar KS, who is the proprietor of Shri Tax Chambers. He is an expert on domestic and international taxation. And we also thank Prabhakar for sharing it with all his contacts so that many people are getting the benefit. As you know, Shri Tax Chambers is a firm which is specializing in domestic and international taxation. Prabhakar is having solid exposure of 1 decade and he has handled matters before the CIT, the tax tribunals, judicial and quasi-judicial bodies. Yes, Excel Academy is very happy with this. So we had started last with the very simple concepts relating to GST transition, and we understood the concepts relating to the constitutional validity and the background of the constitution. We also studied the 246 article number. If you have not yet watched it, please watch the first video. I will also leave a link in the description below. So today in this video, we are going to be doing the new indirect tax regime, the transition and transformation. So what we have to understand is that because of GST, there has been lot of advantages wherever it has been implemented in the world. Yes, it is not just India. GST has been implemented in many parts of the world and everybody has got the benefits. Of course, we know that in law there is an exception to every rule. Malaysia could not take the GST hit, and recently Malaysia has abolished GST. Yes, Malaysia could not take it and they have abolished the GST, and I'm very sure very soon they may reconsider it, because overall the GST benefits are long term and very fundamental, which the entire country is going to experience. But you need patience. Like many things in life, GST needs lot of patience. And now let us come to India. Because we are studying GST which is related to India, what are the advantages to India? So here we have listed 6 major advantages to India because of the GST which was introduced. So the main thing is that the first point, GST is helping in creating what we call as a national market. So it helps in having foreign direct investment in form of FDI, and GST is enabling it. The second major advantage is that it prevents cascading of taxes, as input tax credit at all stages of supply is allowed. So this is a major advantage for businesses. You may be a small business, big business. Input tax credit is a major advantage you are getting, and this is an advantage for GST. And moreover, GST is replacing various indirect tax and it is harmonizing the procedures, the tax rates throughout the country. So when we have a harmonized, a common tax rate or the procedures, we are saving lot of time, and we are going to discuss lot relating to that in the future also. Then the fourth major advantage for introducing GST in India is the exports. Yes, there is lot of evidence, there is lot of statistics already which we have got, where exports has been very high after GST. Yes, initially there was problem, of course, but then now it is changing, and because of exports, obviously we'll have more employment. And the fifth major advantage for GST in India is the uniform SGST and IGST rates. And the latest, we have the reduction in the GST rates. Very recently the GST Council has reduced it, and this will reduce the incentive for tax evasion. Before, the main reason why the service tax or any of the other taxes it is difficult for government to collect is that tax evasion was very highly prevalent. Not that today there is no tax evasion, of course it is there, but because of the uniform SGST and IGST, there is no great incentive, no great advantage if I am going for tax evasion. The sixth major advantage for India because of GST is that the average tax burden on companies will come down now, which will in turn reduce the prices of goods and services for consumers. So end of the day, you and me are going to get the benefit. We are going to get the benefit because of the average tax burden on companies will come down. But this takes time. Overnight it will not happen. Everybody is so, very impatient. That GST is wrong, GST is that, this. Yes, there has been transitional problems. There have been people who have suffered, both the manufacturers, the service providers, the traders in goods, everybody. But then over a period of time, we will have definitely the tax burden which will reduce on the companies, which will obviously reduce the prices of the goods, which will benefit you and me. The next concept in this video is about subsuming of various indirect taxes into our GST. Yes, as you know very well, lot of taxes have been subsumed into GST. What is subsume? If you see the dictionary meaning, it's a verb. It says to include or absorb something in something else. So what is our something here? Something is all the different indirect taxes which we had. And what is that something else? That something else is GST. So we can say that to include or absorb all the indirect taxes into GST. So we have subsumed all the indirect taxes into GST, and that is what we are going to study. So we have various central, state and local levies now which have been subsumed into GST. So we have the center, the state and the local levies, all is now uniform and is subsumed into what we call common as the GST. The subsumed taxes or levies were part of the transaction chain, and because of this it used to become very slow and we used to lose lot of time. These were the major disadvantages. Now it is easy to take input tax credit in intra as well as interstate transactions between two states and also within the state. Now I can take input tax credit, which is helping because of the subsuming of the duties. Yes, so subsume of the various indirect taxes we'll continue to understand here. The GST Council, remember, is empowered. They have the power to take a call and recommend the taxes, the cesses. For example, the sugar cess, the luxury cess, who has the power? The GST Council has the power. And also the GST Council has powers relating to surcharges leviable by the center, the state and the union territories also. In India, you know very well, we have union territories like Daman and Diu, the Pondicherry, all these things. So here, whatever surcharges were leviable by the center, state and union territories, now the GST Council is empowered to take a call and recommend it. It may be subsumed in the GST in the near future also, but right now GST Council is having the powers. So now let us try to understand, as we understood that in our subsumed duties we have the center and state. So let us try to understand what are the central taxes or levies which are currently subsumed into GST. There are few more, but what is currently subsumed? So the first point is relating to the central excise duty that has been subsumed into GST. Then the duties of excise which are levied on medicinal preparations. So in medicinal preparations now we come under the GST. Then we come to the additional duties of excise levied on goods of special importance. Now that is also under the GST. It has been subsumed into GST. Yes. And then we have the additional duties of customs, or what we call as CVD, and special additional duty of customs, that is SAD. And last but not the least, very important, is now service tax is subsumed into GST, which is making it very easy for many businesses. Yes, there are transitional problems, I totally understand, but these are the major central taxes or levies or duties currently which is subsumed into GST. After center, obviously we should study the state. What are the state taxes, levies or duties which are subsumed with GST? What are they? So here we have, so in the state list we have the value added tax for VAT, the local sales tax, the luxury tax, the entry tax, entertainment and amusement tax, advertisement taxes, purchase taxes, taxes on things like lotteries and gambling. See, there were so many different indirect taxes, so many different departments, different people running from pillar to post, and we used to have different documentation for each of these taxes. Such a big headache. They've tried to make everything into GST. Obviously, we will have transitional problems. We should all be patient as an entire nation. So these are the center and the state duties which have been subsumed into GST. I hope you understood everything. This is part 2 of the video. Hope you liked it, and please do leave your questions in the comments. We will be happy to reply. Watch out for the future videos in this series. We are very excited, and we again thank Prabhakar KS, who is the proprietor of Sheet Track Chambers, who has been our research partner on this. And please do subscribe to Excel Academy for regular updates. We will be happy to help you on any law subjects.